Hi, Riders fans, and welcome in. We hope everybody is staying safe during the off-season as we continue our check-in with Texas Rangers prospect Steele Walker. One of the newer prospects is our guest today. Steele, how you doing?
Doing well, man. How's it going?
Fantastic. Well, it's been kind of a crazy offseason for you, not only because of what's going on around the world, but you were traded from the White Sox organization to the Rangers organization. I just want to start with that. What was that whole process like for you just a few months ago?
Yeah, man, it was genuinely a dream come true for me. Really, probably the first time in my baseball career where I couldn't have written it out any better. You know, grew up a Rangers fan, North Texas kid, born and raised, watching, the Hank Blaylocks, the Josh Hamiltons, all those guys. So obviously when that call came and I talked to John Daniels, it was I felt like I was in a video game, but man, it was an awesome experience for me. I really want to make the most of it.
For a guy in your position, what does it mean for you to see yourself get traded 1v1 with a guy like Nomar Mazara, who is an established big leaguer at this point already?
Definitely. It's obviously a good feeling to know that not only you see yourself as a big leaguer, but so do other people. I think with the way the system of baseball is set up, it's really easy to feel like it's a long way off. There's like 6-7 levels before you get to the major leagues. And so it's pretty stiff competition. And it's easy for your mind to play the tricks on you where it's like, man, that's just like a far off land, and I'm a very confident player. So I definitely see myself in the big leagues, but for another organization to reinforce that is it's just a confidence boost. And also I'm thankful to be in an organization where they do value me, and the White Sox did as well. And so I am very thankful for that.
To get traded at this juncture in your career to a place where AA is literally in your backyard from where you grew up, just a few miles away from Prosper, what is that like, and what's that first game with the Rough Riders going to be like?
Wild, man. I'm hoping to have a lot of high school friends and family there. I hope so. And honestly, throughout the whole season, it's 10 minutes from Prosper, and so one of my favorite things about playing the game is playing in front of fans, and interacting with the fans, and it just makes it a little bit better if you know them, and so there'll be a huge support system for me, and that's something that I want to take with me for as long as I play for the Rangers.
When you hear the Frisco Rough Riders, what comes to mind about your childhood and growing up in this area?
Actually, a pretty specific memory comes to mind. I remember I was like in 8th grade or something, and I went to a game, and I knew someone who had a suite. You know how you always got a connection to get into the suite, and they had this delicious peach cobbler, and I ate way too much of it. And I remember this dude hit a home run to left field, and it hit off like the tin and made a loud tin noise. And I was pretty young, but those are like the pretty vivid memory of a Frisco Rough Rider game for me. Good memory though.
So it must be pretty special, I guess, when you actually get to play at the ballpark. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Come on, man. God really made the way, and I couldn't have written it out better, really.
I want to rewind things a little bit to your time growing up here in North Texas, because it's a hotbed for baseball and football, and really just a really good place to play athletics. What was it like playing baseball in Prosper and in North Texas?
Yeah. Oh, Dallas is the talent in Dallas is wild. Baseball kind of probably 10 or so years ago took the shift from, a lot of people play their school ball, right? But it took a big shift into where travel ball became a big thing. And Dallas really emerged as one of those big cities that really cultivates that. And so I got the chance when I got to Prosper and showed some talent to play for DBAT, Dallas Mustangs, and was under Sam Carpenter, Jack Sharp. You really get to be around everyone who's going to play at the next level, and so when you're just around high school kids, I don't think you're as challenged as you could be. But being from Dallas, from North Texas, you're around guys where it's like, oh, wow, maybe I'm not as good as I think I am, but it just challenges you a little bit more, and it brings you into like the reality of like, oh, this world is a little bit bigger than I think it is. You know, when you're 15 years old, your world is just your high school. That's your world. You have no other grasp on anything else. But when you start bringing these kids in from Southern Oklahoma, Denton, South Dallas, you know, East Texas, all playing on the same team, you're like, oh, this is some good ball. So it prepares you, prepared me to play in the Big 12, and obviously then the Big 12 prepares you to play professionally. But man, each step is new and each step is challenging. So you kind of got to stay open and you got to be able to adapt. That's what I've learned.
Now, there's been some district realignment since you were in high school. It's the 9-6A district now that has prospered, but there's some pretty good teams when it comes to baseball in that 9-6A district now. Allen, of course, is a part of that district, and there was a pretty good guy, I think, that you played with named Kyler Murray, who was with Allen when you were there, and of course you went to Oklahoma with him, and we all know Kyler Murray now. I know that you two are very close friends. Do you have a fun story when you two were growing up playing ball together about Kyler Murray?
Interesting. You kind of put me on the spot with this one. Man, funny story. One thing that I appreciate about Kyler, you know, he can get, we as hitters, you know, we all get fooled or beat by a pitcher. It's inevitable. It's too hard not to. But he always maintains his high level of confidence that pitcher's not better than him. And it's just funny, man. Like, I actually can learn from it. You know, this dude he has that mentality of like, man, no one's ever better than him, even when he kind of got ran, you know, and I've been there too, you know. But it was good, actually. He challenged me a lot, especially my junior year at OU. You know, just being more competitive and having a little bit more of an edge about my game. And he's obviously doing well for himself right now, and maybe we'll see him soon on the diamond. Who knows?
Is that something you hope for?
For sure. I don't see why not, you know?
Now, you have two brothers, older brothers, who both chose a little bit of a different path than you did. They played football at Texas, and then you go and played baseball at Oklahoma. What kind of led to your path diverging from that?
I mean, it's quite simple. If Texas would have offered me, Zach, I'm a Longhorn.
Yeah,
they didn't offer.
Okay.
But the deal is, I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they did it. Because, you know, just looking back, God's wisdom is good. It's good for us. It's good for me, at least. I needed a place like Norman. I needed a university like Oklahoma, and I needed to play all 3 years. You know, freshman, sophomore, and junior, to just grow. I came out of high school and I was physically not mature. You know, I was late bloomer, or whatever you want to call it. You know, and so Oklahoma gave me that open door. It was a cracked door, but we ran through it, and was able to have a great career. Grew up a Texas fan, but I can genuinely say, once I was about 14 or 15, I had my feel of the burnt orange. You know, going to so many football games and stuff. I wasn't like a diehard once I kind of reached 14. Genuinely. So my options were open. But with that being said, if they would have offered, I probably would have gone. But we can play the what if game all day long. The deal is God is sovereign, and the plan is right.
So right now your allegiances are with the Sooners, right?
For sure. Oh, for sure. We made Texas pay, though. We made Texas pay.
Yeah.
They definitely regret their choice. It's all good, though. No hard feelings. It's all good. It happens.
There you go. I want to talk about a moment last year that was really cool. You got called up from Kannapolis to High A Winston-Salem with the Chicago White Sox, and me being with Myrtle Beach last year, I got to see your first High A homer and your first homer that year. And that was a really special home run for you and your family. You want to tell the story about that?
Totally. Yeah. That was at Myrtle Beach. Yeah, that was at Myrtle Beach. And so, yeah, you were broadcasting that game.
Yep.
Yes. And the home run was interesting. I remember being low-key surprised that I hit it that hard. I don't know, man. If you ever played baseball, sometimes you hit it and you're like, oh, whoa, I caught that one, you know? And I was still pretty new to the environments and everything, the team, and so it can be a little weird. But it was actually my now niece, it was her birthday. She was born that day. I hit that home run, and so we gave her the ball, and my brother Sam Walker and his wife Meredith, her name's Margot, and so she's coming up on a year old here in a week or so, maybe a week and a half. So
wow.
That was pretty wild.
Yeah, I remember that ball went into the grounds crew area beyond right field, and one of the grounds crew members got that baseball and was able to get it for you. That was really cool.
Yes, that was big.
Yeah. Watching you play last year, it really seems like you play with kind of a contagious exuberance and a kind of a let the kids play mentality. It seems like a Tim Anderson kind of thing. When did that start for you, and how important is it for you to play the game like that?
Oh, I would say it's at the utmost importance. It's when did it start? I would say it started really started my sophomore year at OU. Because I could say it started in high school, but honestly the competition level isn't quite there to even say like this is who I am yet. So it's really things come out once you're challenged. That's really who you are once you're actually put in an environment where it's like, oh, the competition is pretty stiff. So I would say 2017 was when it came out. That's when the headband came out, the flow and all that stuff. And I don't know. I think God really revealed to me through others and through just His speaking that it's like, why play the game chained? It's like, so when I'm 70 years old and I look back and how I've played the game, say I don't play another year after this year, do I want to say that I was miserable and that I was just striving and straining and just hoping to get a hit and just like heart just holding on to the result so hard? Or do I want to say, man, I was free, I was flowy, I let the game come to me, I enjoyed it, I did my best, and on the flip side of that, I play better when I'm free, and so it's a double-edged sword. And it's my personality, man. I mean, I can't do anything if I'm miserable. I'm not going to be able to do my best, and I think that's anyone, man. It's probably with your broadcasting, man. If you're not immersed into the players and in the flow of the game, you're going to be a little choppy with your flow. It's the exact same thing when I'm in the box or when I'm playing in the outfield.
Yeah, it seemed like that really came out with Tate Blackman last year, who you were very close with, and you two had a lot of fun. One of my favorite things with you last year was "say less." For those who aren't, I guess, familiar with your phrase, would you like to explain that?
Wow. So say less. It's so many. You can go 10 different directions with say less. It's just such a simple way of saying basically like, I got you, bro. Or it's like we're on the same page. Like say less. Say less. Like it feels good coming off the tongue. And we coined that phrase, and we really drove it home all of 2019.
Now, given that you were so close with Tate and so many guys in the White Sox organization, when you came to spring training with the Rangers and you're having to be introduced to a whole new group of guys and try and get immersed into this new clubhouse, what's that like, and what was it like with the Rangers?
Yeah, totally. I would say at first, I actually knew a lot of the guys in the organization from playing them. We played down east so many times, and it's interesting. You can't ever like think that how a player plays is actually who he is. The connection is sometimes it's dead on, sometimes it's dead on, and sometimes it's actually not dead on at all. And so it's funny, as I first got to spring training, you can kind of tell there's guys that are filling you out. It's like, is this dude a cool guy or is he whack? Like, what's this dude all about? But I can genuinely tell you, man, the Rangers organization is welcoming. It's tradition. It's first class, so respectable. I mean, really, that was the first thing that I felt was just this strong tradition, pride, man, with the Rangers, and they hold everyone accountable to that. And really it was a smooth transition.
One of those guys who you probably met and who you'll probably be playing with soon is Josh Young, who you also played against in the Big 12 when he was with Texas Tech. What's your relationship with Josh, and what's it like to finally be in the same clubhouse as him?
Right. My relationship with Josh is he's just as good at Wii baseball as he is at real baseball. Dude, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable how good this dude is at Wii baseball. You know, I don't know if you ever played, but when you throw the splitter, if you swing the splitter, you can't hit it. This dude
that's the pitch.
He never swings at it.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. But anyways, I get now why he's really good at actual baseball. But no, he's a great guy, man. He's so talented, dude. The dude's a machine. He's going to be a great player in the future for the Rangers, and I look forward to playing beside him, hopefully, for a really long time.
When talking to him, he said he was staying in baseball shape by playing a lot of Fortnite. So we'll have to see how his game improves when the season comes around.
He's keeping the neurological things going quick, right?
Hand-eye coordination, yeah. Yeah, of course. Yeah, exactly. We were talking earlier and right before we started this call about Joe Wild, the broadcaster for Winston-Salem, and he told me to ask you about a few things. I wanted to talk to you about when you were born. You were a little bit of a chunky baby. What was the nickname that you had when you were a kid?
Oh, it was are you talking about Pocket Hercules?
Yep.
Yeah, no, that was definitely that was coined by my aunt. And my mom and my aunt are very close, and if you know my aunt, man, she can come up with some good ones, man. She's sharp on her feet, and obviously I don't remember, but I guess I was pretty stocky, very stocky. I always remember shopping for pants when I was little. My mom would always ask the retailers for the husky size, you know, and finally, thankfully, I'm not that anymore. Thankfully, but Pocket Hercules, I looked the part. I definitely looked the part.
Do they still call you that?
No.
Oh, okay.
That is long gone. Long gone. Not mad about it.
And the name Steele also has a very interesting origin, which is important with your religion and your faith and also your family history, right?
Sure, yeah. My mom's granddad, best friend, he was a pastor, good man. I didn't know him. I've just been told. His name was Steele Simons, and my dad's middle name happened to be Simons. And so it was between Steele or Sterling. And that kind of family link between the two seemed to be the right fit. Yeah.
How often do people ask you about your name?
It's not as much like, do they ask me about my name? It's they think it's a nickname. You know, okay. It's not like, what does your name mean? It's like, wait, what's your actual name? It's like, it's Steele. You know, it is what it is.
We like to end these on kind of a fun question. So if you had a situation where you're in the big leagues, you need a base hit to win the game, and you want to face the best possible pitcher to cement your legacy as a great hitter in the history of baseball, what pitcher do you face?
I'm hitting a home run off of Aroldis Chapman, Zach.
Left.
A home run off of Aroldis.
Okay.
I want all of the lefty just to leave no doubt.
Okay.
I took no shortcuts here. I took no prisoners, Zach.
Okay. I like it.
And I want it to be a slider.
Ooh. Where is it located?
Low and away.
What? Oh my gosh.
Hey, I could be in dreamland right now, bro, but if I had my way, that's what it is, man. Leave it no doubt. Leave it no doubt. We earned this one.
So, not to put you on the spot, but I know that that's something you worked on a lot, is trying to hit lefties better.
Totally.
Do you feel more comfortable about that after the off season?
200%. 200%. It's just a matter of it's an experience thing. How lefties attack you, what they want to do to you. You start to learn a lot of them want to do similar things to you. So you start keying in on those sequences, and you you just get comfortable with what you want to do. It's just the more games you play. One thing that's so good about pro ball is you play so much. So it's almost like, man, if you're a hitter, you're going to find it. You get so many games, and you say college, you play 50, 60 games. Yeah, that's a lot, but it's not like 140 in the minors. It's not like 140, and so you just start to learn, man, what feels right for you, what works with your muscle, with your movements. And I coined in on that. I keyed in on that last year. And I know a lefty's not going to beat you, which is a good feeling, and so hopefully more to that to come in 2020.
There you go. Love the confidence. Steele Walker will hopefully be a Rough Rider this year or at some point soon, the North Texas native. Steele, thanks so much for joining us.
Emily, thank you for having me, Zach. Appreciate it, brother.